Do you all see my screen? So this data is in which format? This is in JSON format. What is this? And in JSON format, what is this looking like? This is looking like a list, right? This is looking like an object. And within that object, there is one more list of object. So if I have to design this in Java, how will I do it? I'll take a class. Let's say this is looking like data of employees, right? Data of joining, salary. So I'll make an employee class having attributes. What will be the attributes of the employee class? Hmm. Okay, then what will be address? Then address itself is one more object now. So, so this class has a dependency on the address. So I'll make one address class and add the object of that class over here, right? And what is this? List of projects. So we'll make another class called projects and we'll add a list of projects to the employee, right? So if I have to take this JSON file and read into my application, first I have to prepare the data for that. So I need to make a class called employee having ID, name, age, gender, department, year of joining, salary. Then I'll make a one more class because this is also an object, right? Whenever there will be an object, we'll make one more class. So how many classes do I have to make over here? Three classes, namely, then project. Okay, so now let's try to make these classes. So where is our, oh here you're opening from. So in the topic of file handling only we'll try to do it. Okay, so in the file handling only we'll try to do it. I'll make an, you're able to see my screen, right? So I'll make a class first. What, so what all will I add in the employee class? So you can follow that document. Okay, so I'll open it parallelly over here. So what do I need? Private integer id. Okay, so you have to be matching with this. Okay, private, this will be June, will be age, will be gender, will be department. How have we written department? Okay, so try to match it because we are going to read this file. Then next is private integer. Then is address. Okay, so address will be one more class. And what will address have now? Okay, so maintain the proper casing. M private. Then add whatever you want to add over here. Source, generate constructor using fields, writing a all args constructor, writing a no args constructor. There is no super class as of now. Remove this super not wanted, and all the data is private. So we will also write generate setter getters, and we will also write toString. Then we also make a class called as project. What all attributes the project class have? Integer, project ID, private string. Okay, so make the same case. Okay, they should match character by character, case by case. Private character or private string, but it is in double quotes. So double quote no, it is character in single quotes. String, right? Then now, so generate a constructor using fields. Okay. Now we come back to the employee class now. So every employee will have one address, and what will be the reference of that address? This is the reference. Okay. And every employee will have what? One project or many projects? Or list of projects. So list of projects. List of projects will have what? List of project. And what will be the name of that or reference? Here. What is it? Projects, right? So if I write over here projects worked, then what will happen? When I will read this JSON, it will fail. It will not able to match the keys. So the keys should match properly. Control Shift O. Okay, and now let's add the setter getters for this and everything. Source, generate constructor using fields. Okay, and source, generate setter getters. Source, generate post. So now we are good to go. So now what we can do is I can download this file which I already have, I guess. I'll download it once again. Okay, employee.json, and I will copy and paste it over here in the folder over here. Half folder, correct? So how will we read this file now? So what is the file name? So we'll come over here now. I will say class read from JSON. Read from JSON. JSON file. Okay. Okay. So if you want to read from JSON file, you require some jars, extra jars. Okay. So whenever you read from JSON, you will require some extra jar files. Okay. So we have some Jackson library. Which library? Jackson library. So maybe from that we can make use of that Jackson library. So you see this? You can copy. So what you can do is in your ET project, right click, build path, configure build path, libraries, add external jars, and add these jars. Okay, apply and close. So these jars will help you directly fetch data from JSON file. So once you have done this, now here, or you can take help of Chat GPT also if you want to. Okay, so here you all can be a bit smart. Read data from JSON file into Java. Okay, are you able to see my screen? It will just give us one. See, it has told that use this Jackson data bind. Okay, and this is the code it is giving. Okay, so you can skip that and directly we can move to the. Directly we can come over here. So you can directly take up. Okay, I'll just show you all this much code. Just copy this much and let's paste it over here. So now the file which I will read is which file? Where is it kept? Where is it kept? So we have no, we know the place, right? The place is folder slash whatever file. So we'll say over here that the file is over here. So normally what we do is we'll follow the same protocol. Take this string file name. Okay, we'll follow the same protocol. Now this object mapper you have to import. Now you can import. Do a control shift O, it will import. Okay, importing from where? Jackson, and I've added that jar. Okay, what is the file? What is the file which we want now? Employee.json. Okay, spelling is right. Okay, and now we can put this file name as a parameter over here. Okay, and list of what? What will it give me in return? List of employee, right? So what will be the return type of this? It will be return type list of employee. Okay, we have done this into the try. Okay, so we should have taken that try catch block also along with it. Okay, so this is what try. Okay, one extra bracket has come. So control shift O, and we have got this type reference on JSON. This is the way of reading the JSON file. You make a map. You make a object mapper object. Okay, put it into try block. Okay, this is one single statement now. Okay, this is one single statement opening over here and closing over here. So I'm reading which new file, and what will that file give me? A list of employees, and that will be stored in which variable? List of employees, right? Okay, so if I want to use that outside the try, okay, so if I want to use that over here outside try, I will not be able to use it. So I'll declare it over here, say null, initialize it to null, and then directly I can say like this. Okay, that value is initialized now, so I can use it outside the try block also. The scope would have restricted within the try block. So now over here, if I come over here and sys out, let me see if I'm able to see the products, not products. What will we call it? Employees. Okay. So now I'm displaying the employees. Let's see if it allows me to display the employee. Save and run as Java. Displaying. Now I want to display them on separate lines. What will I do then? Say one employee. This is what we'll do, right? This is what y'all will do, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. See, we got all the data, right? See, same data. Okay. First record is 6 June mail IT. 6 June mail IT. Okay. This was displaying from here. We can comment that out. Correct. 12 records. So will you display the record like this? Yes or no? Or is there any faster way? Stream. We'll use the streams. Okay. So on the employees, we'll add the stream and directly we'll add the terminal operator for each. And what are we doing? We are doing system dot out and we are referencing which method of it? The println. Okay, this is faster, yes or no? Will not do it like this. And we'll get the same output. Correct? Now I want you all to display me only those employees that are working in the IT department. If I say display the employee details working in IT department. How many in IT department? 1, 2, 3 and 4. So input stream is 12, output stream will be 4. So map or filter? Filter. So what will we do? Employees dot stream first. Employees dot stream dot filter. Correct? Filter will look for a predicate. It will look for something which evaluates to a integer. We will take one employee, let's say, and what will we check for that employee? That he should be in which department? So we'll say IT. Okay, so we'll say IT dot equals ignore case and what? Employee dot get department. Okay, so this will give me the filter of that. Then what will I do? Okay, so this is the, and you have to add one more of that. Will apply for each, right? Terminal operation. Let me write it only then. But I'm displaying, right? For each, what will I do? I'll call the, so either I can write like this I have done over here, that I will take one employee and I will display it. Either I can do like this, right? This will also work fine. This will also work perfectly fine. So this will display me only employees of which department? IT department. Getting it? And if I want to display their names only then, and okay, now what we can do to improve the performance? Okay, so to improve the performance, what we can do is, how many parameters are there over here in this lambda expression? Single. So you can remove the round bracket. No need for the round bracket. Okay. Okay. Then here, what are we referring over here? Which method are we referring? Okay. So what we can do? Do a method reference over here. Which one? Okay. Department. I guess this should work. No, this will not work. Okay. So I'll show you where we can use method referencing. So this is working. Then for each over here we can use the method reference. What we can do of the system dot out class. What are we using? The println. So it will pass one element over there. So no need to give this individual. Directly we can use this. Okay. So there is where you can use method reference. So one element will directly go as a parameter to this method. Okay. So like this, if this is only single value towards the left of the arrow, you can eliminate the brackets. Okay. This will also give me the same. Getting it? So like this, you all can play around with the data. So now if I want only the names of the employees, then once I have filtered it, then of these four employees, I want four names, correct? So the input is 4, output is 4, then what will we use? We'll use map. So here we'll put a map. Okay, so let me not disturb this. Display the employee details working in ID department. Then if I want to do over here, display the employee names working IT department. So what will I do again now? I'm writing it for your practice, okay? Employees dot stream. Then do what first? Filter. Filter on what? Each employee. I'll pass over employee and I'll compare that employee should be in which department? IT department. Okay, so we can use this. So here we can use EMP now because we are using EMP over here, correct? So employee dot equals ignore case. This bracket is for this. This is for this and okay. See, it is showing an error because you have to finish with the terminal operator, not terminal operator. Then do what? Then do a map. What will map do? Take one employee. Of that employee, what will it give me? Only the employee dot get name, and that I will apply the for each, right? Oh. When I run this, what will this give me? So let's run and check it. These are the ones. Okay. So here, what are we doing? Passing one employee, and what are we? Which function are we calling? So here you could have used method referencing and say pass one employee and use which method? Get name. This will work perfect. This is called method referencing. So by default, one employee, one element of the stream will be passed to this method. This will work perfectly fine. Okay, getting it? How to play around with streams? So I had added some more documentation to the streaming API. Let me check that if we can benefit from that. So to the streaming APIs, I had added some more options. Okay, streaming APIs. I had researched and added some more methods in it. This much we had discussed, right? Then collectors also we had discussed, collectors to list, right? So if I don't want to display them, if I don't want to display, I want to capture them into a list. So if I want to store all the employee names, what will I do? Store so the employee names working at a department into a list. So what will I do now? So now on the LHS I will require a list of employee, and I will call it as IT department employees will be what? Employees dot stream, employees dot stream dot filter on a condition that employee will be from the IT dot ignore case that each employee dot get department. Okay, once I have that, then I'll put a map, and I'll each element I'll pass through each function of the map, get name function, and then I will collect and what? Collectors collectors dot to list. Okay, and the list of string, no, not list of employee, list of string. Okay, so only names. And then if I want to display these names, then I want to display the name also, no? Added by employees dot stream dot for each, and we'll call which, will refer which function? System dot out dot the println function. Okay, so this will do the same job which this was doing. Okay, how many departments do I have now? How many departments do I have? Store all the department names. If I want to do this, store all the department names into a list. So what will I do now? It will be a list of string, dpt names equals to employees dot stream. So now I have, let's say, 12, no, so let me fetch all the departments. So I'll do a map and get which, refer which function on each string, call which function, get department. Okay, so now it will, and I will collect that. Okay, so now I'll just show you all the difference between now what I'm trying to do. I'll collect that. Okay, so now if I display sys out department names, what will it be? It will be 12 departments. Okay, so let me comment out all the above code so that you guys have one single output. So I'll have 12 departments, they'll be repeated. IT, sales, what I want only once, right? So remove the duplicates. So what do we have for remove duplicates? List or set. So I'll use what? Set of string. What will I use? Set of string. So here I will you do what? To, yes, to set. Okay, this is a calculated, right? To set. So remove all the duplicates. So I have these departments. Is that making sense? To list, to set. Okay, so these are all that. So if you want to skip the first four, and directly start counting, or you want to restrict your answer to only three, you can use these also, limit, skip. Okay, so now what was the next? Partition by. Okay, partition by is very interesting. So what partition by does, it splits into two groups. What does partition by do? You take the output and you can split into two. Partition, right? Partition means into two parts, right? So that what it can do. Okay, so what you can do is, first you will have to do a predicate, and then you have to give a condition. Okay, so stream dot collect, so it's a terminal operator. Okay, so it's all your collectors function. Okay, so if I want, let's say I want to partition the data which is based on who are in who have joined before COVID and post COVID. Okay, so display me the names of employees who have joined before COVID and what, after COVID. Okay, so what it will give me is, it will give me a map. Okay, so what it does is, it gives me a map of those who satisfy the condition. So map of a boolean. Okay, and if I want the names of the employees who have joined before that, so that will be a string, right? So like this. So map of what, it will be a list of string, I guess. It will be a what, list of string, no? Those employees who have joined before code and after code. Okay, so it will be a map, will be something like this. This will be the output. What will be the key to the map? There will be two keys, true or false, right? Because I'm doing partition, no? So we'll have only two keys. What will the two keys be? Which satisfy the condition, which don't satisfy the condition. So if I give the satisfying condition as year of joining is less than 2020, so those who satisfy this condition will be in the true part. So let's say this is so what is that output? Alice, Ben, Chris, and those who don't follow this, don't satisfy this, will be in the false one. So they will be what? David and Frank, whatever. So what is this map looking like? The key is a boolean and the value is a list of string, and we are partitioning them based on a condition. What is the condition? Okay, so let's try to do this. So we'll make a map of, okay, boolean and list of string. Okay, emp is 1 is what? Draw control shift O, employees dot stream. Directly you can add the collect, and then collectors dot. Okay, so collectors dot. So first look for a predicate. Okay, first look for a predicate. After the predicate is satisfied, we can add something that is called as downstream. Okay, downstream means on top of the result if you want to perform some additional operations. Okay, what is the partition by doing over here? Taking one more element and checking those name whose name is length is greater than 3. Okay, so those employees whose name is length greater than 3 will be in the true, and those who are not less than will be in the false. Okay, and I am splitting that into boolean and list of string. Okay, so employees whose name is, so if we want to do like that, okay, so let's say list of employees, let's list of employee, okay, and do what, collectors dot, then what is the function, partition by. Now I have to give the predicate. What is the predicate you want to give now? That each employee where employee dot get, no, I'm doing for that, get name dot length is greater than equal to 3. So those satisfied will go in the true and those we don't will go in the false, right? So now if I sys out this map, see how it will look like. See how this map will look like. What happened over here? Cannot type object mapper is not, which line it is, line number 18. What happened? Control shift O, right? So what happened? We had then a save, no? See over here. False, there are no false and all are true because everybody is more than 3, no? Let's keep August is 8, right? Let's keep it 8. So those which are greater than 8 will come in the true and those which are less than 8 will come in the false. So false, okay. June is less than 8, okay. So these will come in the which key, false, and others will come in the true key, okay. So if I iterate through this map, so if I take what, for, and what was that, an entry of what, boolean comma list of employee called entries, okay, called entry from where, from employees one dot entry set, take one employee over here and what happened, boolean list to entry, control shift O, import the entry from map.util, okay. And then if I try to display each entry, you will now see the difference. Just comment out all the code above so that you, okay, if I comment this out then it will not go. See, for false I have these employees, right? And for true is November greater than 8, December greater than 8, okay. So all those which satisfy the condition are partitioned in the true and others who are the false, okay. This is what your partition by does. And once I have partitioned them by their this, then we can apply some extra that is called downstream. So once I have got the name, then if you want, after that if you want to show how many are name is less than 3 and how many names are more than 3, okay, so you can put a downstream. So once I filter that, then how many employees name is greater than 8 and less than 8, so in that partition by, then we can apply a downstream. So what we do, collectors dot counting, what we do, counting. So this will give you a long, this will give you a long, counting will always give you what, long, okay. in how many satisfy the condition and how many don't satisfy the condition. So what it is, cannot convert to add cast to, cannot convert collectors to supplier. See, same over here. Okay, maybe we did not. Okay, expected. Okay, don't close it over here. Okay, so now how many employee name who's greater than 8 and how many are less than 8, it will show you now over here. So if you now just comment this out, it will show you. So downstream is once you have that partitioning, okay, false are 8 and true are 4. So August, October, November, December are true, the remaining are false. That is called as downstream. Getting what is downstream? So once I have added a predicate and filtered based on the true and false, then I can add a downstream. Downstream means on top of the result if you want to perform some other additional operation. Okay, so earlier it gave me like this: false was 1 2 6, which all students are there whose name is less than 3, greater than 3. So true was 3 4 5 7 20, right? False was 1 2 5 6 10. And then when I added the downstream, it gave me the count. How many are they? 4. How many are they? 5. This is called as partition. Getting it? So more you can think. Okay, so there is one group by also, grouping by. This same like partitioning, partition by, you can use group by also. So partition by takes a predicate. What does partition by take? Predicate means this should evaluate to true or false. What should this evaluate? So if now I take the first employee June, June will evaluate to true or false. The false, it will go in the false counter. Then I take the next employee May will evaluate to. So the difference between partition by and grouping by is partition by will always evaluate to a predicate. Will always evaluate a, but grouping by we can have a function over there. We can have a what? We can have a function over there. That is the difference. So partition by uses predicate, grouping by using function, rest remains the same. Okay? Working with collector. So this is a function. So it is saying group by the length, group by the, so all the 3 will be grouped together, all the 4 will be grouped together, all the 5 will be grouped together, all the 6 will be grouped together. Getting it? And after that, if you want to add a downstream, okay, then do the joining based on the arrow. Okay, this this arrow, we are given the arrow delimiter. So it will join them based on this arrow limiter. Okay, or you can do whatever, convert to uppercase. So once you have the partitioning, then you can convert them to uppercase and convert it into a list. So now if I want all the employees to be grouped them by their length, so here what we are doing, based on their whether they satisfy this condition or not, right? So that was partition by. What does group by does now? It will take a function. So you can add anything. So group by what? So let's group by this, right? This is this and this is this. So you, if you want to group by anything, so let's group each employee by their employee dot get name dot length. Okay, and then add a downstream because we are giving a count, right? So we'll give the counting. Okay, so once we have that, will give the counting. So this was for this bracket, this was for this grouping by is already closed over here. No need to close it over here. What happened now? Name dot get length, right? Get name. Okay, that was get name dot employee dot get name. With that name, what we want to do, calculate the length, right? And over here, 1 second. We had partition by. So what does partition by? Now we'll do what? Grouping by. Grouping by will take a function. Will not take any predicate, right? So we'll take one employee and we'll take its name and we'll take the length. So we'll group by the employees dot get name dot length, and then we can do the collectors dot counting. So maybe we already have a employees. So employees call 21 is already there. So here it will not be boolean, correct? Here it will not be a boolean. So we are doing the length, right? So how many are there? Three, right? So what will be the key value pair now? Integer and the list of strings, right? So this will be a now integer. What will this be now? Integer and the okay. But we also added counting over there. We also added counting long. So we are grouping by the length. So now tell me, okay, and then we also added. So if I would have not added this downstream, if I would have not added this downstream, we would have gone with integer and list of string. Okay, dot length. Why is it? Okay, we are taking one employee, no? So we have to pass it through a map. So we have to pass it through a map to collect, right? Because we want only the names, right? So we have to pass it through a map. We'll have to pass it through a map first. And what will that do? Give me only the names. And then we can do the counting, right? So once I have the map, I get the names and then I can collect and then group by employee.name and then the length. Type mismatch cannot convert from map of object list string to map of integer list of string. Employee.stream we put a map and then we get all the names and then we collect that into collectors or grouping by, and we take one element of that, we check for the length, right? That's what we are doing. Okay, now we don't need the name, right? We already have the names. So now we already have the names, right? Given to us. So now let's check if this works fine for us. Okay, comment out all the previous stuff so that it doesn't bother us. And we are displaying employees too, correct? So 3 letters are May, 4 are June, July, 5 are April, March, 6 is August, 7 is January, October, 8 is this, 9 is September. Getting it? If if you want to add downstream, how many are there in 3? 1. So what will I do once I do this grouping? Then we can add a downstream, right? So that downstream will give me a long, right? Okay, and let's say that will be employees 3. And then what we have to do after the length is calculated, then collectors dot count. Make sense? So now if I run it, will tell you all there's only 1 of 3, 4 of 2, 5 are 2, 6 is 1, 7 is 2, 8 is 3, 9 is 1. Getting it, guys? Partition by and grouping by. Crucial method. You all should have command on it. किसको समझ में आ रहा है और किसको समझ में नहीं आ रहा, जिसका प्रैक्टिस हुआ है उनको